Okay. First of all, I'm gonna apologize for not having my video up the day before yesterday. I had a 13 and a half hour day at my internship, and at the end of that, coming back, I wouldn't even have had time to upload a video. But I super want to apologize for the fact that I went to the after party instead, especially since I knew I wouldn't be able to get the video up on time. I thought I earned it after 13 and a half hour day. It was pretty fun. My internship is pretty great. I have some puns. I'd write them out because if I'm verbally sparring with someone, like if I have someone else there, I'm better at puns. But either way, I wrote them out. I'm gonna prerequisite preface it. I'm gonna go with preface it. I'm gonna preface it with the fact that we have zero good choices for president right now, I think, which is terrifying. We have always chose from the lesser of two evils, but the evils are much greater now than I think they've almost ever been, or ever been. Anyway. But I mean, that's not terribly surprising when you look back at our history and just purely at our founding fathers. Like, Ben Franklin was electric. He was a great, but he never held office. General Washington was a Georgia's guy, but when he was first put in charge, he led his men into a massacre, which isn't good. And there's several other things that happened with him that just weren't great. Hamilton was a cheating pig. Otherwise, he's pretty good, but that's still not great. It's sort of like someone else I can think of that is married to one of our current nominees. Anyway, Eliza, Schuyler Hamilton, his wife, this one's purely just so I can have more puns, just bear with me. Helpless woman burned her correspondence with him after she found out, and it's as if Eliza wanted to destroy the truth. Speaking of Hamilton, you have Vice President Aaron Burr, who, while in office as Vice President, engaged in an illegal duel that killed Alexander Hamilton, which was just cold. If you need explanations of the puns, we'll do that later, but they're good. This one doesn't even have a pun, but it just needs said. Jefferson, who is like our pinnacle of freedom, the person that wrote the Declaration of Independence, wrote specifically the words, "All men are created equal," was a slaveholder and adamantly for slaves, which is... Madison was just an angry guy. John Adams set the stage for the Adams family to be shitty politicians. Then there was Jackson, Andrew Jackson, who was a jack of all trades when being a jackass to the Indians. But when he wasn't doing that, he did jack shit in office. Really, the only decent politician I can think of offhandedly is Lincoln. He was obviously innocent. Anyway, I recognize that these are all terrible puns. Did it? Terrible. Anyway. But the point still stands that it's not going to be good. No matter the outcome at this point, I don't think we have a good choice. We have Bernie Sanders, who's a socialist. We have Hillary Clinton, who we really don't need another Clinton, and her record doesn't really want me to make her be president. Admittedly, I'm a Republican, so I'm biased on that side. But then again, I don't see a lot of good... Like, Kasich has no chance. Rubio and Cruz, I just don't know. They make me uncomfortable. I don't think that they're right for the job, really. And Trump is... Trump makes me incredibly, incredibly uncomfortable in every sense of the word. Everything that he says. you need to, everyone watching this video needs to look up John Oliver's Last Week Tonight about Donald Trump, because it's important to know the things that are said in that. Because he doesn't lie. John Oliver does not lie, and the fact that he doesn't lie and he's able to say the things that he says is bad. That all of that is true. So I think, at least as a starting block, we as an Americans need to make Donald Trump again. And I know this video is already over time. It should be okay because it was a punishment video, and it's also informational, which I think should be a rule. That's a good reason to be over time. Either way, I look forward to seeing your video tomorrow, Taylor, and I'm just super uncomfortable with everything.